Saturday, March 21st, we are Change Ottawa at the Ottawa Go Green Expo.
Since I was small, I learned very early that if you see something that you disagree with, if you believe in something, you have got to raise your voice.
I feel the whole green movement is basically, well, again, we can do things the greener way, but the whole global warming fraud that man is causing the climate change at this point is totally fraudulent.
The Stern review on the economics of climate change came out, which gave actual numbers to the costs of climate change, projected climate change. This was a report written by a relatively conservative economist for the UK government, and yet it came out finding that it would be far more fiscally prudent to act now rather than later.
And the global warming alarm is dressed up as science, but it's not science, it's propaganda.
There's no direct evidence which links 20th century global warming to anthropogenic greenhouse gases.
We're just being told lies, that's what it comes down to.
2 Octobers ago, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change and Al Gore were even recognized with the Nobel Peace Prize.
The evidence consists of computer models showing that as this century proceeds, emissions of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere will lead to disastrous global warming.
Reports from the UN's IPCC, this is the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, that group of hundreds of climate scientists from around the world.
The IPCC is a political organisation set up by the United Nations to provide evidence to support the Framework Convention on Climate Change, which has been signed by governments. It is entirely political.
And to build the number up to 2,500, they have to start taking reviewers and government people and so on, anyone who ever came close to them. And none of them are asked to agree. Many of them disagree.
Reports are being released, each one more disturbing than the last. And you're constantly hearing of individual scientists on this panel being surprised at their results because they're shocked at how fast the specter of climate change is actually progressing.
Those people who are specialists but don't agree with the polemic and resign, and there have been a number that I know of, they are simply put on the author list and become part of this 2,500 of the world's top scientists.
I heard it said that there is a consensus of thousands of scientists on the global warming issue and that humans are causing a catastrophic change to the climate system. Well, I am one scientist and there are many that simply think that is not true.
I was in my hometown a few Novembers ago during some unbelievable storms. It was incredible to see practically rivers running through our streets. We had a power outage for 12 days, 20,000 homes across the city and the lower mainland went without power. There was a boil water advisory that lasted 12 days. And the city was pretty traumatized. I mean, we didn't have Starbucks for a few days. Pretty shocking. Climate change has cost our province billions.
Do you really think carbon's what's in the earth? Like we exhale carbon, trees inhale carbon, we contribute a fraction of the amount compared to the ocean volcanoes.
But we're dumping millions of tons of it into our atmosphere that is very, only a couple miles thick.
Compared to what the ocean's doing, and like carbon follows temperature change.
Yeah. Well, I'm only following the hundreds of scientists that are agreeing with this.
But take a look at the others, because there's like I think 18 to 20,000 that signed the report. I can't quote it exactly.
I don't think that that's true.
Look online, because the internet is our last free medium of information.
I agree.
You can't say that CO2 will drive climate. It certainly never did in the past.
If the CO2 increases in the atmosphere as a greenhouse gas, then the temperature will go up. But the ice core record shows exactly the opposite. So the fundamental assumption, the most fundamental assumption of the whole theory of climate change due to humans is shown to be wrong.
The whole thing stinks.
I just go by the scientists that I respect and admire. There are lots of a few scientists actually. It's like 10% of them of the climate scene who are naysayers, and look who they're getting their funding from.
I suggest the alarmists have an awful lot of explaining to do. They receive an awful lot more in industry and industry-related funding every year.
Climate scientists need there to be a problem in order to get funding.
We have a vested interest in creating panic, because then money will flow to climate science.
There's one thing you shouldn't say, and that is, this might not be a problem.
I'll look into your research.
The 22nd, just got out of the Ottawa Go Green Expo. Justin Trudeau was the public speaker this afternoon, and we got there with the video camera, same as yesterday. We were harassed right away by security.
During the presentation, you're going to be removed immediately, forcibly. Okay? Thank you. Nope, not at all. No, I'm just informing you because we've had some complaints about you and your videotaping already. I'm just asking you to put it away now. Okay? There'll be no videotaping of this, and as long as you've heard my warning, thank you very much. I want to know if you open your mouth, you're going to be removed.
I didn't do anything during the presentation yesterday. I did it during the question and answer period, and they asked questions.
Okay, we've had complaints. You hear me? You've heard my warning? Thank you very much.
Do you support a new investigation into 9/11, sir?
You guys are well organized, and I think it's very President Trump. But it was not for the, it was simply
do I believe that a series of explosives in the World Trade Center are what in fact led to it? And I guess the answer to the question is no, I don't. I mean, I, along with most people here, basically saw on television those planes going into the World Trade Center. And it was pretty clear to me that the reason that it happened were those planes that went into the World Trade Center. And so I really find it very difficult to believe any other kind of a theory.
So now I'm being booted out of chapters for asking Paul Martin a question. We were harassed the whole time by security, couldn't take video, we were trying to be booted out, we've been taking pictures, the guy said we weren't for the last time. At the end, when they did have their question and answer period, I did get called upon by Justin, but he was warned by his handlers, the security and his, I guess, chief, whoever, not to field questions for myself or Gilbert. I did manage to talk to Justin afterwards. I got him to sign something for my granny, and I also gave him a 9/11 Truth DVD. I asked him specifically about the whole science behind global warming, noting that there's about 31,000 scientists that signed a petition because the science isn't in, they don't agree with the IPCC report.
The fact that some of these policy decisions could cost quite a lot and yet have no effect at all on the climate.
In my commission, I can hardly find anyone which would subscribe to the IPCC scenario.
The question is why flawed models are used as a basis for enormously expensive policy decisions, far-reaching policy decisions. They shouldn't be.
I have to speak out and say that the science we have is still incomplete. And the science we're being told by the IPCC is really incorrect science.
Justin did say that the science isn't in. Regarding 9/11 truth, when I gave him this, he did say that his brother was among the 9/11 truthers, so I do think he does support the movement. He just may not be able to say so publicly, but we do need leaders to speak truth to power regardless of the issue.